Everybody's asking, is BlackRock shorting Bitcoin? Are they lying to us? What is going on? Why do we have charts that look like this and result in prices that look like today's chart? Since it was deep, bloody red. And we're going to answer that today onto the show. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on, why we're having such a hard time breaking that resistance level. But there's even bigger news, guys, on a global event. It's something that hasn't happened in half a century or more. And we're about to witness a major shift. So Kyle, if Bitcoin's going to $1 million, then why is everything happening the way it is? Well, guys, today I'm going to answer all that for you and more. So let's get into it. If you're excited for today's show, excited to be here, do me a favor, destroy the like button. If you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Kyle. Welcome to the channel. My goal here is to make you guys as much money as humanly possible in this upcoming bull run. And without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So as I said, we have this going on today. Why? What's going on? Why are we not breaking up? I mean, there's been so much money bought up in the Bitcoin spot ETFs. Well, what's going on? Why are we not at $88,000 right now, like everyone is talking about? Well, we did have yesterday this outflow, this for the first time in like 20 days, right? All these positive days, we had an outflow yesterday. So maybe we have some explanation of what's going on there. We're going to get into that. And it's maybe not what you think, guys. However, you do see, as Quinton says over here, as you see over here, you've got essentially the price of Bitcoin going up, shorts increasing over here as well. And that leads us to this. So this is what I want to explain to you guys. So you have right here, this is the leveraged funds net total, and it's a new record short. So what does this mean here? Leverage funds. And this is the main point today. It's actually not BlackRock that is doing this. It's hedge funds, guys. It's hedge funds that is actually doing this. And so the way that they're doing this is something called a carry trade. No, not like the yen carry trade. It is a carry trade where basically what happens is these hedge funds buy Bitcoin spot. And now that the ETF is available, you can see that this started dramatically increasing at the beginning of the year. And so what they do is they basically open up, they're taking advantage of the yield opportunity from the premiums on the shorts, right, on the trade. So what they do is they buy Bitcoin spot, probably on the ETF, and then they open up a short position. And that's why you see the most shorts here. And what they do is they protect themselves. That way, if Bitcoin goes up, then they lose money on their short, but their spot position goes up, right? And that is, now that can be a little bit risky if Bitcoin were to completely just smash up. And I wish that we would have a Wall Street bets moment here where we do just crush up violently. And that could happen. But what the more likely scenario is happening right now is because we have this extreme amount of shorts opened, almost $6 billion in value. In 1 week, a lot of these shorts or these futures positions start to expire. And so these have to start unwinding, which means that they're going to close their position and sell their spot Bitcoin. And so you're starting to see that happen right now. And that's all that's happening, guys, is that this is a net neutral trade. So these hedge funds essentially bought Bitcoin spot, opened up a short position, and that short position gave them the opposite side of the trade, which means that they're getting some yield from that. On average, they're generating between like 9 and 11%, which is far better than no risk interest or whatever, like with this 5% from short-term treasury yields or something. So that's essentially what's going on right now. That's probably why we're seeing some pullback. I expect that for this week to be very, very, very volatile. So if you guys are trading with leverage, be extremely careful. And you can see this chart from Michael Saylor over here. We have 34 spot Bitcoin ETFs around the world, holding now 1,031,973 Bitcoin. And that is over 5% of the circulating supply of Bitcoin out there by ETFs. Majority of them in the United States. And this is in 5 months now of trading, guys. So they're getting bought up real fast here. Now, a lot of these Bitcoin, though, that are now bought up do exist in this carry trade here. And a lot of them will come out and, but not all of them, right? Because a lot of them will just simply close the short and keep the Bitcoin and not sell it back. So, or buy it because it's going up. But I do expect to see this come back and correct a little bit, which will mean some downside sell pressure because these hedge funds will close their position. And they're not interested in Bitcoin long-term. They're interested in just short-term yield. They don't understand Bitcoin long-term value. But you can see other people around the world do, as this Semler Scientific raises $150 million to buy more Bitcoin. It already bought $58 million. Again, This is the MicroStrategy playbook. And we're going to see this. Like I said before, that was MicroStrategy was just the first domino to fall. Then we saw the guys, the gold mining company, I think in South America, wherever it was, that bought Bitcoin from borrowing. And I was on a Twitter Spaces the other day with some guy in Canada who's doing this for ETH. But more importantly, this is going to happen more and more and more around the world. And as you can see, since this chart is the longest it extends to, back here in June 2023, we have a record low here of Bitcoin on exchanges. It's just being taken off in mass. There's not a lot. So at the end of the day, it is very bullish still fundamentally. There's nothing crazy going on, no real conspiracy, but there is the suppression of the price. A lot of things is that this chart that I showed you, the record shorts, it also scares people. So they also sell, and it's a great opportunity for BlackRock to come by. Now, BlackRock wants this to happen. Why? They want to make as much money as possible, and BlackRock wants the price of Bitcoin to go up. Why? Because the more Bitcoin go up, the more Bitcoin that they sell to their customers, the more assets under management they make, the more fees that they earn, the more money they make. And as a publicly traded company, they're not going to short Bitcoin, guys. They want to hold as much Bitcoin as humanly possible within BlackRock to earn those fees, right? And the more the value goes up, they price it in US dollars, the more that their fees charged are. That's simply it, right? So that's it, right? Like hedge funds are doing hedge fund things. They don't care about Bitcoin. BlackRock wants Bitcoin price to go up. And guys, this just gives you a bit of a preview here of where we are this cycle compared to previous ones. As I keep saying, we're kind of it feels like we're just here on the precipice. I mean, it could be days or it could be maybe even a couple months. We just don't know until we start to see this kind of parabolic run up. And for me, I do expect this to be more dramatic up, aggressive up than this is the first cycle, second cycle, third cycle. A lot of people think that the law of diminishing returns applies here, and this would be like less exciting, like this down here. However, I'm more in the camp of something like this. And if you've been following the channel for a long time, you kind of understand why. This week, we also have some very, very important things, notably the CPI tomorrow on the 12th, and the federal interest rate decision, and then of course the famous Jerome time, and talking about what is the Fed going to do, what's the state of the economy, how's inflation doing, how are people paying more money for items. I'm in America right now; it is like $20 for a sandwich. So yes, I understand inflation is a real deal, and this is the biggest news here of a long time. So, people wonder, like, what backs the dollar, right? And gold used to back the dollar, and then the dollar came off the gold standard, and then it was basically the petrodollar that allowed the U.S. dollar to be the world reserve. However, the agreement that the United States had with Saudi Arabia, I believe it was a 50-year agreement, just expired the other day, like 2 days ago on the 9th, I believe, and no longer is Saudi or anyone else mandated to use the U.S. dollar to trade oil in. And Russia, China, the BRICS countries have been taking full advantage of that. We know that China sold off those $50 billion in treasury funds, and China has also been collecting gold like crazy and dumping U.S. treasury bonds. And we also know that we talked before about the BRICS currency and what it could look like and how it might be, and that it would be backed by potentially precious metals, things like that. Could be a big reason why you see China buying up all the gold, other countries buying gold, and also the news recently of China potentially lifting the Bitcoin ban coming. And if that is officially announced, will be a really, really, really big deal. And it's just the fact that these fiat currencies, the way the monetary systems work right now, they don't work. Everything's coming to an end. The fiat system as we know it is coming to an end. Everyone is hyperinflating. And the only thing that was keeping the dollar strong was that the world needed it. And it still is, right now today, the most desired currency in the world, still today. And it will be that way for a little while longer. And so I don't think that like overnight or in the next year, everyone's going to all of a sudden switch to something else. There's nothing really else to go to, but people are looking for a better way to store their wealth. And that's going to be in Bitcoin, right? So you can also see here that Interest payments, Wall Street Silver says interest payments on the debt is growing fast. So basically, this is just saying that, we have $35 trillion in debt with 5% interest rates. We're going to pay $1.5 trillion in interest in 2025, which is 30% of the government's collected revenue. So it's impossible to pay back the debt, and this is just going to result in more money printing. Not only that, but we also had Moody's, which does the ratings, AAA of debt, essentially, or of the credit worthiness or the worthiness of an establishment, and it just downgraded 130 regional banks. The regional banks ranging from $10 billion to $100 billion market cap due to their high exposure to commercial real estate. Now, this is probably a lingering effect of the pandemic, the plandemic, and if you guys saw Fauci getting roasted of the day, well, it deserves it. He deserves a lot more than that. But anyway, so this is very alarming, right? And if these banks start to fail, then what's going to happen? They have to be bailed out, right? You cannot let these banks fail, because the second that the public stops trusting a bank, that the FDIC is not going to cover it, then all hell breaks loose, right? So what happens if these 130 banks end up failing? They need to get bailed out, right? And ultimately that's going to result in more money printing, and that's going to result in more taxes. And that's just a bad, slippery slope. I was watching the All In podcast recently, and they were talking about how they're doing this fundraiser for Trump, which is interesting because predominantly California, Silicon Valley, SF, has always been a very blue Democratic state. However, as we've talked about on this show before, they're starting to think about what's the best thing for business, what's the best thing for our wallets, what's the best thing for the country. And so David Sachs and Chamath Palihapitiya threw a fundraiser at Sachs's house in SF, and Trump called himself the crypto president, really taking advantage of that, right? And on the All In podcast I was watching, they were talking about that if Biden doesn't flip pro-crypto very, very soon, like he's out, what Kalakaninkas was saying, right? So yeah, and then as we know, we talked about before, Trump has now a crypto advisor, a Bitcoin advisor, and Trump was asking him, is there something that we can do about this $35 trillion in debt with Bitcoin? And his advisor, Bailey, said, maybe, but let's not talk about it yet, right? And then this is something that I saw today, Wall Street Bitcoin said, which is something that you guys have heard me say before. If the country can just print their money right now, why don't they just print a bunch of it and buy a bunch of Bitcoin? It's the most obvious play. And so Wall Street Bitcoin basically says here, it'll be this domino effect, right? And one country will do it, and then they'll hyperinflate their currency to buy as much Bitcoin as they can. And then the next country will do it, and the next country will do it, and the next country will do it. And that's probably the best thing that a country could do in reality. And then somehow figure out a way, like if you could hyperinflate, buy a bunch of Bitcoin, and then somehow provide some sort of universal basic income, because you're going to F over everyone in your country who doesn't have Bitcoin, but it's the only way to kind of protect yourself as a country here, because there's literally nothing else to do and nowhere else to go right now, right? And yeah, he also makes the point that, Bitcoin is divisible by 100 million, and that's, basically it will become a world reserve, which I've been saying forever. And that's kind of aligned here with this. I mean, what else is going to become a world reserve, right? The US dollar will lose its dominance because people aren't required to trade it anymore. And depending on how violent that is, it could be extremely bad for the United States. And I hope for the people's sake that it's not violent and these kind of things. It's going to be the Chinese RMB, or is it going to be the new BRICS currency? Probably Bitcoin, right? Like probably Bitcoin will definitely be a world reserve, and maybe there'll be some currencies that are backed by it. Maybe Bitcoin and gold and these kind of things will be part of the BRICS currency. We'll have to see. Okay, guys, now into altcoin section. You have tomorrow launching on paid ignition. Asymmetry Finance. I've been backing these guys for a while, Justin and Hannah. And when it comes down to masterminds in DeFi, they created this protocol essentially that takes advantage of like eigenlayer and restaking. So make sure if you're interested in participating here along with other amazing investors, I think this thing is going to rip when they introduce these new products. Me personally, so right now they've got AF, and AF is just their kind of synthetic versions of Convex. So convex, like you don't really need to understand what it is. I don't even really understand what it is. I just know that these like there's like some giga whales that put a bunch of liquidity in convex or curve or whatever, and then like yeah. So they have I think the second largest liquidity in convex, paying you a yield of 34%, real yield on chain that's verifiable. Right now literally right now you could stake ETH and get 10%, which is like the best out there, right? And you've got here coming soon another version of ETH, 27%, which is insane. This is using the eigenlayer, restaking. And then this one's going to be crazy. Remember when Terra Luna had 20% on stablecoin? Asymmetry is going to have a stablecoin as well. 21% is what they're claiming. And this is going to roll out, I think, in like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months. But they know how to do it. and Athena right now, you see how popular Athena is. And that's closed source. So they're making this all open source where people can see it. And, you know, a lot of big brain DeFi investors are backing them, right? You've got like Castle Island Ventures, Sidedoor Ventures, Contango, Polychain, us, you know, MV Capital, you got Republic Crypto, Comma 3 Ventures, like a lot of really good, and there it is, MV Global. So exclusively on paid, guys. If you're interested in participating, go register on paid. Next, we're going to talk about base, guys, L2, right? Again, we've been talking about this for a while. Metrics exploding every direction that you want to see them exploding on. Why? Because they're going to be the onboarding gateway for all new users into crypto, especially with their smart wallet that's coming out here. And you can see that base on all layer 2s are actually at all EVM, including Ethereum, as the majority of the swapping volume. You can see this example here that Jesse Pollock retweeted of the smart wallet being very smart, where you can essentially, it feels a lot like a traditional shopping experience where you want to go get some meme coins and you can just add them to your basket and you can check out at the end. You can check out with, I don't know if you can use fiat in the smart wallet. I'm not sure, but these are more features that are coming to the Coinbase Smart Wallet very soon. Going to make it very, very, very newbie friendly. And what's going to be the first thing when they come there? They're going to see, more smart wallet features. This is why, Commonwealth is now on a base as well. But they're going to see Brett, right? And remember, guys, I brought you Brett at 566 million. It's clear that Brett is on its way to $1 billion. And it actually surpassed that and almost hit 2 billion. And if base continues on this trajectory, it's probably going to go much, 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 much higher. Maybe it goes 40 or 100 mil. It literally, that might sound crazy, but it just depends on how bullish this market gets and how much more adoption. And Coinbase, I think, is going to go hard. I think they're going to go hard, super hard. They're now international. They're making onboarding to Web3 super easy for newbies. And so I just extremely, if you're buying a meme coin on a blue chip, again, I said this before, on base, you're buying Brett, and it's pretty much definitely secured itself right now as the blue chip on probably the most bullish layer 2 in the Ethereum world, right? So TON, we've been talking about TON forever. Crazy trajectory, up only pretty much. And price has been pretty sideways for a while now, but the ecosystem adoption is going crazy. So if you look at like this is even though it's been pretty sideways since April, the price, you see that just as of May, so just mid-May, user growth has been skyrocketing. Remember, there's like 900 million users of TON. I think 50 million daily active users of Telegram. And so this is Telegram's blockchain. And you can see TVL as well is absolutely going through the roof, as almost $500 million in TVL. And this is all kind of ignited through this open competition here, where at the Open League, where if you go create a meme coin, if you're active in the ecosystem, they're giving away $1 million in TON. And so season 4 is beginning. This is generating a lot of new people to come build games, build dApps, or these tiny apps like they call them. And a lot of this was kicked off by this Notcoin, where people just like pushing the button on the screen, tapping it. And the average wallet there who was doing this earned like $2,800. So it's generated this insanity, which I have a hard time believing, this hamster combat thing. I can't even believe it. I literally don't know if I believe it, to be honest with you. Like, this is one of those things that I just can't believe. This account was created in March, April, May, June. Like, you're talking about 2-3 months ago, right? 6.8 million followers on X. I mean, I checked social metrics. It doesn't seem to be losing any accounts. So if they're doing anything bots or something, it must be some pretty damn good ones or something. I just can't understand this stuff. Like, look at this. Like what is going on here?
The bill that would allow regulated financial institutions to hold cryptocurrency. I won't comment on this news, but I'll share some statistics. According to a survey, 48% of voters who own digital assets.
I don't know, man. It's crazy to me. They made a post. They made a video. I was just like looking at this stuff 8 days ago. They said 70 million registered users on the app. There's like, no, I can't believe it. But, you know, it's an airdrop farming. It's like the Notcoin thing. It's just everybody trying to make some free money. I don't know. Like everyone saw what happened with Notcoin, and like, could you imagine being in the Philippines or something like that, where you make like $6 a week or something, and all of a sudden your friend over there who just like taps to the screen for an hour a day or something made $2,800, whatever. It's like life-changing for them. So I guess, you know, maybe everybody's just, I don't know. I don't know if this is, it's just 20.6 million subscribers on YouTube in like a month. I think this channel started a month ago. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, if you think that's legit or not. I legit have no idea. It just seems unreasonable to me, but maybe I'm just jealous. I don't know. You can see there's 826 apps building a TON ecosystem. You know, so go explore it, guys. Check it out. They have these mini apps that just open natively directly in Telegram. It's pretty cool. It's actually very, very cool, very convenient. You can send money to each other. Guys, I also have an announcement channel. There's no one there yet. We just created it, but the link will be in the description below. Go join that so you can get some alpha, stuff like that. We're going to be doing all kinds of new stuff here on the channel over the next few weeks. And so it'll be good for you guys to stay in the loop and get to know what's going on over there. Yeah, so that link will be in the description. Cookie3, I invested in these guys a while back, a long time ago, actually. And they're launching it in, I think, 2 days on Bybits. Let's see. Basically, and we use this in paid Ignition as well. It's from analytics. Very, very good. I say like privacy protecting, privacy preserving, Web3 analytics, kind of like Google Analytics. They got a bunch of people using it already. And this thing's launching in a couple of days. And if you go over here, you can go get your badge, and you can get a badge, and I think you'll get an airdrop. So go do that. And what I'll say about this is that they do have their launch on Bybit coming up on the 13th. So in 2 days, it's extremely hyped. And I believe, from what I remember, it's been a while since I invested, but I believe it's a very attractive valuation that we invested in it. So do your own research, because I don't have the metrics in front of me, and I'm not sure, but I will try to do some, we'll try to analyze it post-listing and tell you guys my thoughts on how it's doing. But the team deserves it. They've been putting a lot of hard work. Very unique product that kind of stands out in the very needed product for Web3. Also, you guys know I talked about Aethir a while back. This thing is also launching tomorrow, I believe. And so this is a distributed node network, kind of like Render away. Has a lot of hype, a lot of attention. Also launching on Bybit on tomorrow, the 12th. I'm very bullish on the project. However, again, be careful on the launch. I usually say kind of wait, just wait for price discovery. Like generally a rule of thumb on around a really hyped launch is that you don't want to like ape in right away. Usually, sometimes it works out, but especially if the market's like horrible and there's just no buying then. But like, you know, just be careful. I've showed you guys tools before to use, like, you know, right now it doesn't have it, but it will have the vesting schedule and stuff like that here on CryptoRank. I'm sure you can find it soon to see like what kind of unlocks are happening. Always pay attention to that. And for the VULTISIG, guys, the other day on Friday, I think I told you about this giveaway of whitelist spots for this. Remember, this is the founder of ThorChain creating a new wallet system that is way more secure. It's two-factor. It's going to it would be silly not to use this wallet moving forward. And right now we're about to pick some winners, guys. So I'm going to scroll down here so you see this list. So for full transparency here. And what I'm going to do is this numbers 1 through, I'm just going to go down here and scroll through here so everyone can look at the list and see if your name and what, where you were here on this. And okay, so the 133. And so what I'll do here is use this calculator soup. So minimum is 133. And we're going to pick 20 winners. And no repeats. Okay, and we're going to calculate. There's your lucky winners, ladies and gentlemen. If you are one of these guys, we will shoot you an email and let you know. If for some reason that you don't want to take insane advantage of this insane opportunity, write us back and we'll give it to someone else. We'll also be giving some away in the VIP community. If you're not there, link in the description or instruction in the description on how to join. And also, I just want to bring you guys' attention to this as well. So you got solely over here on Solana. Be careful because the team was basically bought 95% of the supply. And so that's not a good look by any means. It's not at all. Let's see. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. But basically the chart, let's see. Oh, I'll get back to just the solely in a second. But this is good news for all you Solana lovers out there. And if you've been with me the past couple of days, then you know that it's been hard to buy some of these calls that we've been making. They just transactions not going through. And there's supposed to be a Solana mainnet upgrade here coming up very soon that should fix a lot of these problems that we've been having, which is good news for us. It's been very frustrating trying to buy some of these things. And so also in the VIP group, guys, I called this today. This is, another one like Iggy, but this is Abella Danger. And she's endorsing this directly on the account over here. You can see just like over here, like this is what I'm looking for. Because I saw another one with Kim Kardashian or something like that today. Didn't sign off on it, right? So I think it's important that if the celebrity is going to get behind it, that they actually go and are talking about it and promoting it actively. And then Iggy's, she started a cell phone company and you can pay for it using her tokens, which is crazy. So celebrity coin with utility. I mean, it's cool if you're doing that. That's good. So we'll see if Abella over here does anything like that. Yeah. So I called this in the VIP group, guys, at 6.5 million market cap, 6.4 million. And so you're up to 2.5x right now. So congratulations. I did get 4 people who gave it a thumbs down. I don't know why. I think maybe they don't like money or something. You can see here at 4:24 my time. So that was 12 hours ago, 13 hours ago, here at a 6.4 million market cap. So, and I know it's not the most it is what it is, but it's money to be made. And I expect that as long as this, she's still promoting it, then it's probably still going to do well, I guess. Also, guys, the ZK Sync airdrop is coming finally on June 17th. If you want to go check your eligibility, go to claim.zknation.io, put your wallet address in there and see if you're eligible. This is exciting. I know that I have quite a bunch of these Moody's NFTs over there or whatever, and I guess that's probably what made me eligible. I use it a bit here and swapped around there a bit. So I'm so excited for that. And that's it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. I hope they have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.